G'day everyone, I am the Red Scar, this is Red Scar Gaming. Today is my summary of my second draft of, Modern Horizons 3. This one didn't go very well either. I won one game out of four, and look, I know I'm not going to be great at Modern Horizons 3 in general, but I'd like to win a few more, if only so I can, play a few more cards, situations, and go, look, that's a bad card or that's a good card, or ooh, I should try that a bit more or something like that. But look, I'll go through as best I can for this summary and see how I go. Indebted Spirit, I didn't really get to use it as effectively as I'd hoped this particular draft, it was just lack of use rather than bad situation or something like that. I didn't get to bestow anything, did I? Did I? Can't remember. Either way, I did at least once get it to die, essentially. I think I chump blocked with it and got a spirit out of it, which was very helpful. I'll go with it again. I think it's a good way to spend either 1 or 3 mana, so it's versatile in that sense. Nyxborn Hydra, I did get to play it game 2, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a very good bestow creature. In that particular situation, my opponent just outpaced me. But look, it happens. It's a good card. Granting reach and trample is probably the better way to do that. The better way to phrase that. It's a good enchantment to put on something. Though it's really good by itself anyway. So good way to spend X. Charitable Levy. Why did I say Levi again? Anyway, Charitable Levy. I did get to play just sort of partly as a test, which look it did all right, but ultimately in that particular situation anyway, I cast more non-creature spells than my opponent did. It wasn't a huge drawback in that sense. It's not like I had to choose which spell I'd cast in that particular situation. It worked. It was good. I'm sure I could have put it in a better situation. But yeah, look, I just didn't get the chance, and it's a draft, so you can't hope too much for it. Dog Umbra, I did get to play game 4, I think, and in that particular case, actually, it did very well. If I remember correctly, I attached it to the Watchdog. Dog on dog action. It was particularly useful there because my opponent had a lot of removal, and while he still got rid of my Watchdog by some sort of removal, he had to spend two cards to do it. But yeah, in that particular case, he was just drawing lots of cards. So I think Dog Umbra is still a good way to go. It would have been better in the situation that, like, say, he didn't draw as many cards, or he only had one removal spell or whatever it was. But look, it's still a good card, and I'll go with it again. Though, yeah, in a different situation, it'd be good. Hexgold Slith, I was hoping would ultimately do a bit better. The game I did win, I wouldn't be too far forward if I said that Hexgold Slith was the one that won me the game. I got a lot of use out of the attacking, and it only has to grow a little bit, and it can at least keep pace with your opponent. So it's good, and it did the bulk work. I'm sort of wondering though, is it the kind of deck that you want to focus on energy more, or 1/1 counters more? It's a little bit one or the other, but not both. So yeah, I'm not complaining, but yeah, it did well. Nextborn Unicorn, I also got a fair bit of use out of actually, though not so much the mentor mechanic. Which yeah, look, I'm not sad about, but I would have liked a bit more use out of mentor mechanic. So maybe I shouldn't have gone with Nextborn Unicorn. Just because I've got a fair bit on 2 mana cost stuff anyway, so yeah, maybe I should have just left it aside. The bestow cost helps because it is mana 2 and you can also bestow it. Wither and Bloom, I'm happy with that card. It is a very good card, very versatile card, and especially seeing that I was trying to modify sort of as much as possible, then yeah, it's a pretty damn excellent removal spell as far as modifying things. Uh, Maybe I should rely on it a bit less. Yeah, this deck I only had the one, but last draft, I had three, was it? And I was pretty heavy on that, and I could basically control my opponent for the first few turns. But in this case, I suppose it was a bit more focused on the 1/1 counter activation bit. It's still good. I think I'll still go with it. I just wish I got more maybe. Basking Brood Scale in this particular draft probably didn't get the best use out of it. I think though in this particular deck it's probably one of the better, more versatile cards anyway, because I can adapt with it, and even if that's the only the only 1/1 counter I get on it, I can potentially get a few turns ahead. Though, I suppose I should note that I never actually sacked that spawn for anything, and I didn't play anything. Yeah, there was no particular situation where I was sort of going, oh, I really want to play Warp Tusker turn 5 rather than turn 7 or whatever. So maybe I'm holding it a little too high. I know it's a very popular card, but yeah, maybe in this particular situation I was holding it a bit too high. Collective Resistance, I did get one use out of, and I did say during the draft that it's not so much that it's a particularly good card. It's just a very versatile card, so I wanted to keep that, and I got pretty good use out of it. Game 4 in particular, I basically saved Watchdog from dying a few times. So yeah, that was very fun. I draft it again. Don't rely on it, but yeah, it's a good card. Fangs of Colonia. That's another one where I really wanted that to do better. It's good. It's definitely better in the overload situation. Had I been able to play it in the overload situation, I think I probably would have won that game. Because there was plenty of creatures. Plenty of creatures where that I had 1/1 counters on them, and overloading them would have just made it excellent, and I probably would have taken off from there. But I just didn't get the opportunity to overload with it. And in hindsight, game 3 was it? I had the option of playing it, but I thought, no, I'll wait to overload. But yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have played it. Whether that was my bad choice or bad luck or something like that. But yeah, look, you think about that as much as you want. Faithful Watchdog, I'm still happy with. Look, any 3/3 vigilance for 2 mana is pretty dang good, I think. Yeah, sure, it's not going to win you the game straight away, but it is reliable, is a good way to put that. Signature Slam, I actually got to use, was it even 3 times, I think? Which, yeah, is sort of just lucky that I drew it that many times. I did get pretty good use out of it, and the fact that it can, it's each modified creature deals combat damage, deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Because of that, you can sort of go, look, I've got tons of small creatures. They can collectively take X creature out, so it's versatile from there. I can't really think of anything in particular that it was definitely the card I needed, or I wouldn't have won the game without it, or something like that. Partly because I didn't win many games, but yeah, it's good. Maybe I should have had something else. Maybe Expanding Ooze, I have versed a few times and I've played a few times. I think it's pretty damn excellent, regardless of what situation it's in. You adapt it once, and you essentially attack for 5 the first time you attack with it, which, even if it's not early game, it's pretty dang good. So I'd like more use out of it. I might have just got a bit unlucky as far as playing it this particular draft. But yeah, I'd like to try it more often. Strength of the Harvest. As I said during the draft, I don't think I'll use the enchant creature, the aura side of it much, but yeah, it's basically just a land with a good ability otherwise, and I did get to play it once at least, so yeah, I was happy with that. And in the power of hindsight of that particular match anyway, it might have given a creature +1/+1, but I don't think I needed it, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Rose Cotton Knight, I've used a few times now actually. It's good, but I haven't used it terribly well in the whole reveal artifact enchantment and draw it, basically. I perhaps should focus a bit more on that side of it rather than the putting a 1/1 counter on it. Though this type of deck is probably the way that if you can only do one or the other, as in getting an artifact or enchantment, this is probably the sort of deck where it does pretty well in, because for you to successfully reveal an artifact or enchantment, you need a fair few in your deck. But to put a 1/1 counter on it, you don't need many artifacts or enchantments. So I think it's sort of better or more reliable in that regard. Plus Vigilance certainly helps. I didn't get particularly good use out of it this time, but I'm not unhappy with it. Fetid Gargantua. I don't think I played this draft, did I? But look, my last game, my opponent played it and very successfully, which I would like to get a bit more use out of it in that sense. It's still a good card, maybe not quite as much as a win condition I was hoping for, but yeah, think of me as you will that way. Uh, Wormcoil Lava. Once again, I that's the second time I've drafted it, and I still didn't get to use it, which maybe Wizards is going, hey, actually, mate, it's not quite as good as you think it is, so don't use it. But I'd really like to test it to prove that it's bad or prove that it's good. But yeah, I'll draft it again if I get the chance. Glasswing Grace is another one where, look, it's an interesting card because there's definitely times that I could have played it onto the battlefield tapped as the land, I mean. But geez, it's done a lot of work making a creature flying and lifelink. So I think, at least in this case, like just for ease of reference, comparing these two, Glasswing Grace and Strength of the Harvest, I think I would treat Glasswing Grace as an enchantment that you can play instead as a land, whereas Strength of the Harvest I would think of a land that you can instead play as an aura. Which, yeah, look, I know is really subtle and silly of me silly of me to say it like that, maybe, but I got pretty good use out of it, so I'm happy with it, and I draft it again. Warp Tusker, I didn't get to play at all, which, yeah, was just sort of bad luck, but I might go with it again, but I haven't had success with it so far, so I might just not go with it next time either. Lands I went pretty well with. Maybe I could have gone one more swamp instead of say a plains, maybe, because there's no cards in there where, oh yeah, I suppose except maybe Glasswing Grace. There's no cards that I need two planes for, but there is, yeah, I suppose only one card where I need two swamps with. But yeah, maybe I could have gone one more swamp, one less plains. But yeah, look, feel free to prove me wrong there. Deceptive Landscape. Did I have 3 of those? Okay, I didn't even realize that. I'm very happy with those. So I suppose maybe with that in mind, yeah, maybe I just didn't get. I didn't need the swamps. I didn't need, geez, even maybe forests or something. But yeah, I think Deceptive Landscape did well. There was no situation where I sort of went, oh damn, I wish I had a non-tap land or something. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, I think. Tranquil Landscape was, yeah, less effective, but I knew that from the start just because it gets plains or forest for me, rather than 3 options. But, oops, sorry, I pressed the wrong button there. Let's go back to that. Then, yeah, the other cards I had, Thraben Charm I've had some success with in the past, though with the power of hindsight, I don't think it would have gone as well in this draft, because there wasn't actually many times that I had more than 1 or 2 creatures for the removal aspect. There wasn't many times I would have been able to destroy target enchantment, and yeah, exiling graveyard maybe would have done good once, but yeah, I don't think it's worth keeping. Essence Reliquary, I've tried a few times, just in some other drafts and in my local gaming store. It's when it works really well, but when it doesn't work, it's 3 mana that you just wasted. So you got to be a bit careful with it. If I could activate it at not just sorcery speed, it would probably be even a broken card. But yeah, just didn't get the chance this time. As I said before during the draft as well, I would really like to play that in a almost just creature deck, because you could, yeah, modify something and manifest the top card of your library every single turn, basically. So it's good, especially for 4 mana. It's pretty dang good. So look, maybe I should have tried it instead of maybe Nyxborn Unicorn. Maybe, yeah, maybe, or maybe even the Hydra. Like, I wasn't unhappy with the Hydra, but perhaps Guardian of the Forgotten would have done better. Rosecott Knight, I'm still happy with it, but I think 3 would have been a bit too many. Of the blue cards I got, it was mainly, well, yeah, with the power of hindsight, it was mainly sort of control, counter, draw, which, yeah, while certainly not useless, I don't think I would have just gone blue 4. So as far as the black spells, yeah, Consuming Corruption, I did say during the draft that I'm just not going to have enough swamps out at any time, so I'm glad I didn't keep that one. Eviscerator's Insight was probably the one that, if I did draw stuff, it would have been that one. Maybe instead of Signature Slam, or Collective Resistance. I know Collective Resistance is good. I suppose Fangs of Colonia would have been the one that I should have taken out and put Insight in. Yeah, not that I was. Yeah, not so much that because I think Fangs of Colonia is a terrible card or anything, but I just think Eviscerator's Insight in this situation probably would have been better. Gravedig. Look, I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about it. Some people say it's great, you can do lots of things with it, but I've also heard some people go, actually, it's not that great. It is a good card, but just not in this circumstance. So Buried Alive, yeah, I just don't think it would have been good in this deck anyway. So I'm glad I didn't keep it in. Eldrazi Repurposer, and I also almost said Eldrazi Rapunzel for some reason, but if I was going a bit higher on the curve, I probably would have gone with it. But yeah, in this situation, I don't think it was bad to put it away. Though I suppose if I did have to put it in, probably get rid of Strength of the Harvest. Or maybe even Signature Slam or Expanding Ooze, perhaps. Yeah, maybe Clutching the Straws there. But yeah, as I said, like I was pretty happy with it, so I don't think. Sorry, I'm pretty happy with it being there, so I don't think I should have put it in. And the Hunger Tide Rises. Yeah, once again, when it works, it's good, but it's pretty unreliable. So I'm glad I put that away. But overall, look, there's nothing in there that I'm looking at right now and go, yeah, look, I should never have picked that card. I suppose the only things I'm somewhat upset about is maybe Charitable Levy, Fangs of Colonia, and I suppose with the power of hindsight, I could have taken out maybe even Phil Gargantua or Warped Tusker, and put in maybe Guardian of the Forgotten instead of, say, Tusker. Eviscerator's Insight instead of Fangs of Colonia, and look, I suppose Gravedigg for something. Yeah, maybe. Look, I'm Next Born Unicorn, maybe. Yeah, look, I'm clutching at straws there a little bit, but look, I know that not everyone likes that card, but I'd like to try it at least once to prove that it's a terrible card, or that it's actually a lot better than everyone thinks. But yeah, okay. Well, thanks for watching that one. Hopefully you can learn from my lessons, and hopefully I can learn from my lessons and actually win 2 games next time. That'll be good. See you next time.